awards and recognitions.
All right. And first, I will say it is, again, a special called meeting because I thank you for the grace that you all showed in allowing me to, last week, send my firstborn off to college. I appreciate that very much.
Absolutely.
I apologize for the inconvenience. Well, tonight, I have the distinct pleasure and privilege of welcoming an outstanding educator who embodies our mission to provide unique and meaningful learning opportunities to our students. Mr. Wiley Messer teaches welding at Great Crossing High School. To be specific, he teaches shielded metal arc welding, gas metal arc welding, gas tungsten arc welding, blueprint reading for welding, and 3D printing. And his students have the opportunity to earn welding certifications as they prepare for their future careers. Currently, there are around 120 students in this very popular program. Mr. Messer joins us tonight first because he's an outstanding educator, but also because he has earned some pretty incredible accolades recently, and we wanted to celebrate him. Mr. Messer is a 2025 Harbor Freight Tools for School Top 50 finalist and a published author. His August 2025 article in Performance Racing Magazine shared the benefits of high school career programs like welding with industry leaders and racing enthusiasts across the nation. We've provided a copy for our board members, and there's a stack on the table at the back as well if you're interested. Wiley has previously been honored as the Kentucky State Welding Instructor of the Year and has supported his students as they have earned bronze, silver, and gold level distinctions in Skills USA. With such a successful career technical pathway, we cannot wait to see where else Mr. Messer's leadership takes us, especially now that we have a college and career lab at Georgetown Middle School that includes the basics of welding as early as 6th grade. Wiley teaches a real-world skill that is having a real impact on students and our workforce. For me, I remember the first year when we opened the welding pathway, and as sometimes can be the case with construction, not everything's ready day one, and Wiley demonstrated how flexible he was because we had to do a lot of what's the word? I want to say AI because that's on my brain, but the what? Virtual. Yes, that's the word. The virtual welding, which, by the way, the virtual welding that we were using is the same that our U.S. Army was using, and we knew early on. We knew for other reasons too, but we knew also that we had a star because we won the state competition in virtual welding that year, and we should have because that's all we pretty much had time to do. It was something else. But personally, I have had the good fortune to know Mr. Messer since Principal Lusby hired him back in 2019. And we worked closely to ensure that his program was set up for success. And, again, we are just so blessed to have such a quality educator at the helm of the welding program at Great Crossing High School. So congratulations on a job well done, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Wiley Messer. And thank you for the gifts. I think it's the first time that we've been gifted by a recipient. 3D printed, nice.
Very cool.
That concludes my awards and recognition.
All right, wonderful, congratulations, and thank you for everything. I remember when we stopped production over at the school because the kids raised their hand and said more kids wanted to be into that program, and we voted that all through, and we built extra bays for welding, and my gosh, it has hit the ground running. Thank you for the success. Thank you so much.
I will. I'm glad you brought that up because at the time it was a $1 million plus change order.
It was, which was a big decision.
Yes, it was a very big decision, and I remember how much time that the board asked to just wanted to understand where we were going with that, and credit to Principal Lusby for having the foresight to really recognize the success that the program would be. But again, we had to have the right person, and certainly we've got him, and we want to keep our
Yeah.
hooks in him. He lives pretty close to here, so we think we might have the upper hand.
No pressure.
Yeah.
No pressure. Thank you. We appreciate that. Thank you. Okay, number 4, agenda approval.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Number 5, public comment. Mr. Mike Davis. Did somebody want to get? There might be somebody who wanted to. Good evening.
Good evening. Is this on or no?
Yes.
The red light's on.
light's on,
Yep,
so
it's
it's
right there.
good.
How y'all doing?
All right.
Wonderful,
Thank
thank you.
All I wanted to do tonight was come in and say thank you all for the hard work that we did last year, and of course over the summer to see that we were able to pass the maternity leave has been a very big hit for all of our teachers and employees that I've talked to throughout the beginning of the school year. So we appreciate that very much. We know each year always brings new challenges and opportunities, and the chance to make ourselves even greater. And I know that this being a budget year, there's a lot of things that'll come and play. But I just want to take a moment to thank you again for the progress, the partnership that we've shared together, along with Mr. Parker, is really grew not just the pay, but the culture and the environment we have in our schools that also makes it a better for our students to learn, and we appreciate that. We know that the work is never finished, and we're always going to continue to work with you all. And we appreciate all the feedback we get from you all, and you all understanding where we're coming from from a position of our association. We want to take steps together to work with you all. Me and Mr. Parker have a really good relationship. We talk about a lot of things. We'll be very vocal in Frankfort to try to get things in the right direction for us. But we've created a ton of momentum together. You know, I've told Mr. Parker, I don't ever want it to be us versus them. That's not what I see this as. I believe it's a collaboration between all the people who have the same interest for what's best for our students and our employees. And I thank you all for sharing, I believe, the same vision we have. As we move forward, we're committed to work alongside with you all. We want to make sure that we keep strengthening our schools, supporting our educators, and ensuring that Scott County remains the leader in public education. We believe in what Mr. Parker says. Yes, I quote it all the time. I want it to be the best place to live, learn, and work. You know, that's what I believe. And I want to continue to get the best and brightest here. All I wanted to do real quick before I end, I wanted to introduce some of my executive committee. Some of them are under the weather. For some reason, the cold's hit early this year. You know.
It is.
So if y'all will stand, and I'll introduce you real quick. I have Christina Holliter, who is our member at large. I have Pam Young, who's our classified representative. Guess we've gotten so big with our classified, we had to get it. And Krista Kelly is our new vice president since Ms. Chang Sang decided to head south to warmer weather. So once again, I thank you. I look forward to you all, to working with you all, and I really appreciate everything we've done over the last year. It's been really a lot, and I'm glad to celebrate that when I talk to our employees across the district. Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing with us each month. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And you were he was way under time.
Yeah, very good. He said that. Keep in mind, he said that, Mike. I didn't. What'd he say?
He gets phone calls.
Oh, well, yes, you do. Curtis Preston. Hi, how are you? Good.
Thank you all for your time.
Thank you. I'm just going to give you just a little bit of background on how we work all of this. You're welcome to come and speak. We welcome it. Certainly, Mike comes and speaks with us on behalf of the teachers each month, so I didn't make my little speech just to him. But just so you know, we will listen to what you have to say. We won't be engaging back. We just listen, and then follow-up takes place after that.
Okay.
We usually, because it's just the two of you, you'll have 5 minutes to speak.
Okay.
And just so that you understand, just want to
Sure.
let you know how it all works.
This is my first time here doing this. So,
Yeah, well, thank you.
Yeah, I
Thank you.
appreciate the heads up.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
I've ran into an issue, Scott County Middle School. I guess it's the policy that a child cannot get off the transfer bus at Great Crossing. Although we've been doing this for 2 years, my wife picked my kids up there for 2 years. My son goes to the high school. Okay? I called the middle school to try to talk to them. They told me to call transportation. I called transportation to talk to them. The only response I get is a blanket no. That's the policy and that's how it is. They went so far as to call the Georgetown police on me to prevent me from picking up my own child. I find that bizarre and unnecessary. Life is hard enough for all of us. You guys got it tough. My wife's a teacher. I know what y'all go through. Like, I know the crap y'all deal with, and it's not good. I begged her to go find something else to do for work because she comes home a wreck, and August is madness at my house every year. So trust me when I say I'm sympathetic to y'all's position. But you preach community, but we're not practicing it. How is safety? I'm told the reason is safety and safety policy. At the same time, the cop is telling me I cannot get my daughter. My son is allowed to walk out of the high school and get in my truck. Nobody asks for an ID. They don't ask my name or anything. So who is it safety for, and how are we determining which safety it's for? Is it for these kids and just these kids? I don't understand. I'm trying to have a civil conversation. I've included all y'all on the emails. I know you're aware of the situation, unless maybe I got the wrong email address.
No, you didn't. You were
Okay.
correct. Yes.
It just seems unnecessary that grown adults can't sit down and come to some kind of conclusion. It's difficult for parents. Kids have after-school activities. My son's got to be to work at 5. That's why I pick him up, because he can't. If he rides the bus, he's not home till 4:45. He has no time to get anything to eat, get it ready to get his work clothes on. I can't get him there at 5. I don't understand why I'm right there. My daughter is 50 yards from me on a bus, and you're telling me I can't get her. And then the people on the phone are wondering why they're getting a negative reaction from me. That is my child. Her safety is my responsibility. That I take that on, and I take it very seriously. And no offense to y'all, but there's nothing you can do from a child safety perspective. Are you going to have a monitor follow every child when they go to the bathroom to make sure they don't get assaulted in the bathroom? No, you can't do that. That ain't realistic. Nor should you be expected to do that. Nobody should be asking that of you. That's why we have school resource officers there. They're there for the protection, but it's like the school system is trying to protect my daughter from me. Me and my wife are not divorced. This is not a custody issue. Me and my wife have been married for 17 years. My kids both live with me. I'm hoping maybe at some point there can be some kind of resolution here. But telling me I can't come get my child is not an answer I'm willing to accept. I'm starting here with y'all. It says in the Bible in Matthew's chapter 18, verse 15 through 20, how to handle your grievances. I started with the school. They didn't want to listen. Now I'm here bringing witnesses publicly. If I have to go to the church, I'll go to the church. But I'm not going to accept this. I'm not, because this is ridiculous. It's 2025. We're all grown adults. I appreciate y'all's time. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Okay, we're going to jump into our items here. Number 6, consent agenda items A through I.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Number 7, levy the 2026 motor vehicle and watercraft property tax rate.
Second.
Excuse me, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Number 8, taxation of recreational and non-commercial aircraft and non-commercial out-of-state or Coast Guard registered watercraft.
Move to approve. Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Number 9, levy the real estate and tangible property tax rates for school year 2025-2026.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Number 10, construction report. Good evening, Tony.
Okay.
Hi, Tony.
Good evening.
Oxford Owls logo again. I always like to start with the rendering of the outside. The brick and roof, of course, you've seen and we've selected, and that's pretty much what it'll look like. Since the last meeting, we discussed a little bit about the interior colors. Mr. Parker and I guess Scott County has put together a committee of several people in this room, and we're going to start working on some options that they would like to see, and at some point, maybe hopefully the next board meeting, present that to the board so that you all can have some options. Or we can set some things up in here if people want to come by and look at things. It's pretty exciting. It's always fun to. I brought these along just because they're fun, But and the colors you get to deal with in elementary are so much better. But yes.
We can't see them.
Is that the floor? What is that?
This is the terrazzo.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Kind of the colors that you would see. That's terrazzo. That's terrazzo in the lobby right there. Now, again, these are just our first samples, and this is what we're playing with, and it may not be all the colors, and even the dark blue, we're going to have them change a little bit. But I wanted to show you kind of where we are and what we're doing and moving forward. Even Renee hasn't seen them yet, so you're first to see them. And some library furniture color. I can pass this around, too. So that's just a little bit of an explanation that we're getting started on the colors, and we'll bring some options to you all. And we have the committee formed, and I'll set up some dates. And I showed you last month how we're going to, go through here and do some renderings and some different options. And those are the terrazzo areas that you'll see that we'll be selecting. And there's different designs and patterns, and they can be different colors with some blues and oranges, of course. Oh.
It does.
Yes.
They're a pretty strong sponsor. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, we kind of are. That's good discussion. There you go.
Is there someone in the audience we're trying to convince as well? Because I can make it a W if the board wants. It does. It does. But we'll show you some three-dimensional shots of this as well as this develops. And the site got some drone shots. So this is actually a couple of weeks old. There's more that's happened since then, but you can see now that we've had the dry weather, fortunately. Yeah, oh, it's dried up all right.
Yeah.
Everybody's grass is brown now,
Right.
and it's very dusty and dirty. They have to put water on the site now to kind of to keep the dust down. So this is a shot, and this is just swinging around a little bit in the beautiful countryside
It
around
is
there.
so
It's just it's incredible. But you can see some of the floors. This is looking straight down on the classroom wing. You can see a lot of the floor slabs in, which means a lot of the underground utilities are in. The walls are going up. And there's the gymnasium. Again, the floor slabs in. They're ready, and you can see the pockets in the wall. They're ready to hang joists, and the steel's already on site. So there's inside. Again, you can see the slab poured. A lot of the underground work's already done. And this is a classroom wing again. The walls are just about up to roof bearing. Now this is just this week. This week, of course, we just had a progress meeting of which Scott County had a heavy presence there. So that's good. Several people in this room, along with Mr. Parker, discussing schedule, with the rain and of course the extra earthwork and things like that. They've had quite a challenge, but at this point they indicated to Mr. Parker specifically and us as well that they're still shooting for that August deadline of next year. So we're all shooting for that same goal, and at this point that's their goal as well.
Yeah, I mean, I was really pleased with what I heard at the meeting and the attitude that all the folks that are a part of the project, and specifically, I know Amber talked to us a little bit. Amber Kerr, who's one of the point people on the project with us. And again, I mean, what a clean construction site too, right, Tony? I mean, it's I don't know, they're doing great work, and we're excited with what we're seeing. So.
And that's a good point. Dwayne Ellison, who of course working for SD, he was walking the site before the meeting, and I was walking the site to the meeting, and we both came up and started to say the same thing at the same time, which was, can you believe how clean the site is? Because usually construction sites are pretty much a mess. I mean, you see little pieces of construction debris, but sometimes it's just a mess. And out on the site, you could see from those pictures, from those aerial pictures, there wasn't a lot of junk around. It was nice and clean and smooth. And here's a shot from the classroom wing. They got that first block up, so they're getting ready to pour slabs. In fact, it's been a couple of days. They may have poured slabs by now in the second classroom wing. So the classroom wings are gonna go. They're going fast. And again, a lot of the underground already in place. And this is all the way to the front right corner. And you can see all those rebar. That happens to be the corner that is the storm shelter of this project. So you can see plenty of rebar there. And geothermal's going, so they're drilling the wells. They say they've got a few drilled now, and they say it's going to be about an 8 to 10 week process. Hopefully that's done before winter comes. And there's the retention basin. Again, you can see the site is really clean, and it's kind of hard to see, but that's a big depression there where the retention basin will be for the site. So they're moving along good. I stuck this in here because this is part of it. Your next agenda item is a change order, and I wanted to discuss it. Yeah, you can turn. Yeah, certainly you can turn the lights on, and that may be a little bit hard to read, but I mean basically there's been a lot of back and forth. I guess the first thing I want to say is that the engineers submitted all this to the water utility company and was approved. And then when the contractors submitted the same thing, they came back and said, "Oh, we want some changes." It's not the first time that
Due to fees. Due to some fees, correct? Is that what the water-
no. That's even the next.
The next one?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
the next step that happened. Because of course the engineers, well, you've already approved this, but and I'm not throwing shade at utility companies. This just happens, but the
Right.
contractor sent it in, so they prepared documents to reflect what the utility company wanted. There was a little bit of it was only like $7,000 change order, not that 7,000 and a lot, but we submitted that back, and then Kentucky American Water came to Scott County and said, "Oh, by the way, here's your tap fee for all this, and here's your monthly demand charge for all of this." And of course, that was like throwing pickup sticks on the floor.
Well, and I would say too, I mean, because the demand charge did not compare to anything we had ever seen before.
That's right.
It was seismic. I think to the tune of 16,000 a month, or or 16,000 a year. I mean,
Right, 1,400 a month.
Yeah,
which
16,000
ends
a
up
year.
16,000 a year.
Yeah.
So with a bit of back and forth, they worked it out where if the engineers would revise their drawings again and provide more, and some of this gets out of my wheelhouse, but vault boxes and meters and taps and utility infrastructure, that they would severely reduce your ongoing cost from here on out, your monthly cost, and your tap fee.
It was like $231, I think, is what it will drop down to,
right.
something like that.
So it was going to be. So the change order is, of course, the 92,000. I don't have that directly in front of me, but
93 was what I was thinking.
Something like that. But yes, your monthly charge is going to go from $1,400 to $230 a month. And any other cost that they thought was going to be up front at $50,000 is now down to $30,000. So after you do all the month, in about 7 or 8 years, you're completely paid back, and then you won't have this charge. You won't have these costs for the rest of the school's
That's
life.
kind of how we've looked at it. It's what's our return on investment by doing this change order,
Yeah.
and it cuts it out to where before a decade we're done, and
Yeah. So if the school lasts 50 years, for
Yeah,
43
yeah.
years, you're going to be making a lot of money back. So it's a smart move to do that. So I wanted to have some discussion on that, so that you'll know when the agenda comes. And I'll stay here while you do that agenda item if you want to, if you have any other questions on it. And there's a final shot, just a good drone shot of, the site there. You can really see the floor plan of the building with these drone shots. It's really a good new technology.
What is the reasoning behind, that's the gymnasium, right?
It is.
Why does that go up first in that way and then the classroom wing? Is there a reason that they do the gymnasium and wall it up like that first? Because the cafeteria's got to go beside it, right?
The cafeteria does have to go beside it.
Yeah, I'm just wondering why they do that separately and then come up here. Just curious.
Well, the spot where the cafeteria is to the right, they actually had to do some site work where they put fill in place because it was such deep fill, and they have to let it settle for a while.
Okay.
Now, to be honest, I don't know why they just. I think they wanted to come. Their trailer, their construction trailer, is kind of just below us out of the picture, so they're looking at the job site. I think they started at the back and started coming towards them.
Sure, they had to leave that off for a second.
Yes, yes.
It was totally just out of curiosity.
Right.
so I was trying
From
to
job to
understand.
job, it could be a little bit
Sure.
random. But they probably wanted to get those tall walls up too and get that steel in place and get it roofed in. But they know now that our focus is from the front back because we want to and that's something we've talked about the last two meetings. The focus should be on the administration and the classrooms because the administrators have to have a place to be, and the kids have to have a place to go to school. I'm not predicting that anything is going to happen. Hopefully, the whole school's ready by August. But if the gym is the one thing that you don't have when school starts, well, you could probably survive, a few weeks or a month without gym. But again, I'm not predicting that. I'm just telling them to focus on this front part first, make it the priority. And that's it for the construction report, unless anybody has any specific questions.
I'd
Yes.
like either Billy or Tony,
Mhm.
just a real quick elevator speech
Mhm.
as to why I'm hearing a lot of comments recently about why are we building Creekside on Oxford, that the building is similar. And there's advantages to
Well,
having
yeah.
a building.
Oh, I've heard that too. I've heard
Yes,
of
so
that
could
too,
you
but-
just do, like
Well,
I said, just
so-
a real
so-
quick elevator speech as to what the
Sure,
benefits are
sure.
with that?
Well, and I'll even take it another direction too to say, if we did something different, then people are going to say, well, they got more or less
Well,
than
we
we got
know
over
that.
here in
We know
Creekside. So
that,
that's
but-
one part of it. But the other part is, for me, the complaints from the staff at Creekside are non-existent. It's a floor plan and a layout.
It works.
Yes, it really is, look at what we did with Great Crossing in Scott County.
Right.
It's very similar, but we made some tweaks with Scott County.
After speaking
From
with
what-
administration.
Yeah, from what we learned.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
It
with
was good,
this,
yeah.
there really wasn't. The issues that I can think of, Tony, are things that had nothing to do with the design. I don't remember we had some sort of a pipe issue. Or that first year that again
Right.
was
Underneath,
it
yeah.
was nothing to do with the design. It just was something that had to be mitigated. But outside of that, I can't think of anything specific. And and then also too, we've got plans. Granted we had to make changes with the change in code for the storm shelter, but I mean, if it ain't broke,
No.
I will say this too. I know I was having some conversations Tuesday at a luncheon with some superintendents, and one of the things that we were talking about elementaries, and one of the gentlemen talked about elementary school that they're really happy with their design, and it's a 2-story. And I said, well, so how does that work when you got to get a kid from one place to another? And and granted, we've got multi-story buildings in our schools that service our secondary students as well, but sometimes that can get tricky. And they pointed out, they said, yeah, that's no great answer to that one. So, I'm a proponent of keeping it all on one level if we can. And so I would welcome anyone who might want to talk to me about that topic, because
Well, we could spend a lot of taxpayer dollars and dream up amazing different
Yeah.
curvy buildings every
Yeah.
time, but why would we do that? It's just wasting.
But isn't it
dollars.
typical most school districts repeat the same?
That might be
I'm
a
just
question
thinking
better
about-
for
That's a Tony
Tony.
question.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes, yes.
Because I'm
similar,
just
yeah.
seeing with the
For-
district
for-
that I'm in,
Yeah.
several buildings look the same.
Sure,
Yeah.
we're
Year
doing,
after
we do
year.
in Madison County in
Yeah.
different districts, especially, for several years if it's kind of working,
Right.
but if a lot of codes change and a lot of demands of the school
Right.
change and curriculum changes, then over time, over decades, then that kind of goes away.
Right.
You
But
mentioned
it'll have its own identity.
Oh,
so,
yes, we
yeah.
tweaked. There
Yeah.
were, I don't know if you remember, I came in with in schematic and showed like all the tweaks there were that were different from Creekside. And you mentioned taxpayers' money. You also get quite a break on design fees.
That's what I was thinking too.
Why, thank you, Tony.
For-
Yes.
for-
Buildings every time. This is just paying money for
So,
design people.
Right.
This
Right,
works.
right.
I mean, that
So
happens
that's one
in
of, I mean, you
housing.
asked
You've
for
got several
advantages. I mean,
houses.
Right.
that's one of the
Well,
Well, that's what I was
advantages.
kind of looking for.
Yeah.
Our advantages are the flow works,
I mean,
it's
Right.
cost efficient.
Yes, yes.
And again, the
Absolutely.
people that work in the
Bank of
building
America's rent.
addressing the needs of our students.
If it's a
Right.
need.
I mean, we went to them and said, what should
Right.
we change? And
Right.
the list was small, and it was minor things.
Mhm.
So,
Well, thank you. I just wanted to have a
Okay.
quick discussion
Yeah.
because
Thank
I'm
you for
hearing
bringing
it
that
quite
up.
a bit lately.
It's a
so
good question.
I
It's a
just
good
thought it
question.
would be a good
People are
conversation.
seeing the picture, the
Yes.
board's finally gone up, and I'm
Yep.
seeing they're driving by and seeing it and commenting, well,
Yeah.
it looks
Mhm.
a lot like Creekside.
Yeah, it's Creekside on
Yeah.
Oxford, so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I mean, I don't
That's a compliment.
have
those roof colors will look nothing the same.
That doesn't
That
hurt my
new blue.
feelings, but
No.
No,
Yeah.
not at all.
No, it didn't go
Sorry,
down.
Mr.
Yeah.
Parker, if you were
Yeah.
talking.
No,
I-
you're good, you're
Yeah,
good.
no, all is good. I
Okay.
appreciate it. Thank you,
Sure,
Tony.
sure. Oh, well.
We're good. Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Number 11, approve change order 002 for Oxford Elementary.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Number 12, approve BG4 for Great Crossing High School athletics.
Move to approve. Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Sorry.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Sorry about that, guys. This is a little bit of a change up, and I'm
That's all right.
obviously
You're doing
stuttering
great.
right
You're
through it,
doing
aren't I? Number 13, approve BG4 for Great Crossing High School.
Move.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Number 14, student achievement. Shouldn't be the typical. Good evening.
It's the
I
easiest
know.
things that always are.
It is. Yeah, exactly.
Good evening.
Good evening.
All right, good evening. Tonight's student achievement report is going to be focusing on ACT, AP, and dual credit.
The data that Wendy and I will be presenting tonight focuses on the academic side of being post-secondary ready. And as a refresher, we put on the board here the academic and the career indicators to become post-secondary ready. So academically, a student can become post-secondary ready by meeting a benchmark score on a college placement or admissions exam, by achieving 3 hours of a dual credit class with a C or higher, or achieving a benchmark score of a 3 or higher on the AP exam. On the career side, students who earn a industry recognized certification or credentials, or pass an end of program exam, or complete 300 work hours within a co-op structure or internship can become post-secondary ready.
Okay, so our first focus tonight is going to be ACT, and the ACT is one indicator of post-secondary readiness accountability. In this slide, one thing to note is that we are looking only at the junior administration. So this would have been the day in the spring that juniors took the ACT. We are looking also at the average composite score. So Scott County was 18.4 and the state was 18.1. The national average at the bottom is a bit misleading because it is not the spring junior administration only. That encompasses the entire ACT year. So perhaps a better look at this in comparison would be when we look at our own all data, which is what the next slide, this slide is. So when we look at any student who took the ACT during the 24-25 school year, our composite, the average score is a 19.4.
Say that one more time. So this is, the one on the right is for any student who took it over the course of the 24-25 school year. Junior, senior, sophomore, freshman.
This one, the one
Yeah,
that's
sorry, what I'm looking
yeah.
at is
Sorry,
right,
mine
yeah.
looks a little
All
different than
data,
yours.
all data.
Yes,
So
the
this
all
is-
data.
So it's including the juniors who took it on the day in March, and then anybody else that took it.
Absolutely.
So there's a handful of people that took it, I guess, and just did really well.
Right, and so we have
Because
lots.
that's a huge move in their average.
Well, and one
That's
thing,
what I'm trying to understand, because if all the juniors already took it once, there's only a handful that are gonna take it twice in a calendar year.
No, it's also
No, I know that. I'm just saying it must have been a handful that did really, really well.
And
to
our
move them.
seniors and the sophomores.
Sure,
and, yeah,
sure,
mhm,
yeah.
absolutely.
But again, I'm back to if everybody took it 3 times, you would think that they would all kind of average about the same. But the fact that you see a full point movement, I mean, we know it. The ones that take it multiple times are the ones that are trying to get a 36.
Right.
I mean, my daughter was one of them. I get it. So
Yeah.
that's just interesting that it moves it that much. I guess I'm marveling at that.
hmm Absolutely.
Sorry, again, I was out loud thinking.
No, that's great. So our next slide is a breakdown by subject, and this is for the March administration. So again, this is only focusing on that junior data. And we can see Scott County is in yellow at the bottom for the 24-25 school year, and the state is in white. We continue to be above the state in all areas. So we do several things to support our students for the ACT. We have instructional strategies where we have assessment questions that mimic the ACT. We have an emphasis on reading comprehension across curricular activities. We have intentionality across the board. How can we create our bell ringers to look more like the ACT? We're continuing to always think about those things. Also, we have a diagnostic with Horizon that juniors take twice a year, once in the fall and once in the winter. And we use that data to goal set. And then sophomores are also taking Horizon at least once a year to have that exposure. So with the Horizon diagnostic, you get strengths and weaknesses, and teachers can target those to help improve performance on the ACT. And then on top of that, we also have our free ACT boot camps that are put on by the Frisk. We have after-school test prep activities, and then we have a Google Classroom that has free ACT practice tests that students can take advantage of. We also know that our teachers need support. So we offer professional learning through all of our assessment platforms with Horizon, Pear Assessment, and teachers can learn those systems, and then also with Pear Assessment, learn how to create assessments that mimic the ACT. We have a secondary assessment committee that has representation from all high schools, and there are admin, teachers, and counselors on this committee, and we collaborate, work together, give feedback about our assessment system, and just solve problems through that committee. So historically, the KDE college admission exam has always been ACT. However, in June 2025, there was an announcement that we would be moving to the SAT. So we quickly started to try to wrap our brains around that. But then in July, there was an announcement that KDE had received a protest against the SAT award of contract. And that's where we are right now. There's a pause of contract.
What was their argument for changing from ACT to SAT, other than what we would assume is the obvious, the money?
They did not give us one.
Because academically, there's not. I don't know of a good argument. I mean, ACT historically has been a much better predictor of college success. So I'm just curious if something's changed, SAT do something special that warranted them wanting to go with it, or did they defend?
We've been using ACT.
Oh, 20 plus years.
Not know.
Yeah.
one thing that I have heard brought up was that within the proposals, the SAT provided a wider variety of sports for students that were preparing for the exam. That was something that I've heard.
Interesting. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, ACT
And,
is.
and that's
for
one of those
the
things
last couple
too,
of decades, been
you know,
widely considered the better tool, the superior tool.
Mm-hmm.
you know, and it put us in an awkward spot too, because it's like, well, you know, what do you tell your board? You know, like, we're maybe moving to SAT, but, you know,
Yeah.
all indications are it's rolling on, and they're just following the process. You know, I wish that perhaps they had considered the possibility for a protest so that this could have all been resolved in a more timely fashion, because
It's the sort of thing they need to give schools 2 or 3 years, because SAT still the strong emphasis on vocabulary, the weird vocabulary part and all that, right? It's the SAT I recall, right? Oh,
Yeah.
good, okay.
Yeah.
So I saw that before. Because, yeah, that takes everything you do to test prep now.
It's different.
Oh, for God's sake, okay.
Yeah.
All right, sorry. I can't wait to hear the rest of this.
Yes.
So, Mr. Parker, when you say you think it'll be rolling on, or someone said that, does that mean you think probably the SAT will become?
yes.
Okay.
I'm led to believe through unofficial channels that
That will
it's
be it.
coming. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is just a formality that they
Once
have.
again, I got this ACT down after 25 years. We got to justify our jobs and change it all up again.
How do you feel about that?
Not good at all.
Ladies, continue.
Not
Go
good.
ahead.
So, as Katie continues to plan for the shift, we are also thinking about the shift in ways that we can prepare. So, Horizon, which is going to be changing its name to Progress Learning, does offer an SAT platform that will mimic the same support that it gave us for ACT. We are also meeting with our secondary principals to create a plan. What supports do teachers need? What supports do students need? That's going to be in the forefront of our mind as we create our plan for the shift. And
I
then
bet 95% of every teacher in every classroom has never even taken the SAT.
Right.
there's going to be a lot
I
of
mean, we just-
education
we don't
needed.
like Very few people take it anymore.
No,
Oh,
I
God,
just took
sorry,
the
I'm
SAT
getting-
because that's all my college wanted.
Sorry.
No,
I'm
no,
sorry.
absolutely. You're saying all things that, yeah. And then we're also going to utilize our secondary assessment committee as well to help create a plan to support teachers and students.
Now, have I already missed it? I know we had talked a little bit before about the secondary assessment committee, you know, wanting to continue to use Horizon, and the thought when that came about was we were still going to be ACT. Is that right?
That's correct.
But then it made sense to us that, well, they were already advocating for that. Why on earth would we change one more thing on them? So
Sure, if they want
know,
her. Yeah,
yeah,
she
the-
says it offers SAT.
Absolutely. So, what does the SAT look like? You have a packet that is going to have a more detailed version of what I'm going to just share with you. Our partners at CKEC created this for us, and we love CKEC and the support they give us. So, here's what we know. There are 2 sections. There's a reading and writing section and a math section. Altogether, it will be 2 hours and 14 minutes. There are 2 modules. The first module in each of the sections will have a mix of questions, easy, medium, and hard. Then based on how a student scores on the first module, then that will be dependent on the types of questions they receive in the second module. A science score is going to be generated, but they're going to pull from the relevant questions from the reading and writing sections and the math section to get that score. And most of the questions are multiple choice. Diana, do you have your packet? If you don't, I will
do.
get you
Yeah,
one.
I couldn't find it at
Okay.
first, but I found
Okay,
it. Yes,
good.
thank you. Thank you.
Okay, good.
I have a lot of extra papers, so sorry. Thank you for asking.
Okay, so we're going to move on to our next academic indicator for post-secondary readiness, which is advanced placement. And our first slide here is our district overview. This shows you the number of students who were tested at the end of last year, the number of exams that were taken, and we actually had 85 more students test in an AP area. And we improved the percentage of students scoring a 3 or higher by 5%. So we're really happy about that growth. Yes.
I think too, you know, I think this, if you all don't mind for me to jump in, this is an appropriate time, I believe, to perhaps thank the board for block scheduling. You know, having that opportunity it gives our students more freedom in their schedules. And the other thing too that I would also, you know, it's going to be a love fest because, you know, what you've done for teacher salaries has helped with our teacher retention. And that teacher retention, I think, has translated as well into having teachers that we're not having to deal with the constant shifts of, this teacher taught this, that, and the other, and now we got to scramble to figure out who's going to do it next. And so
Continuity matters.
we've got a lot of consistency. So I just, again, thank you all.
Well, and thank you for the community for supporting that, I have to say.
Amen.
That's a big deal.
Okay, the next couple of slides that we'll look at just continues to break down the district summary here. And so this is how all the students tested in the scores that they earned. Again, it's a 1 through 5 rating. That gives you a quick look at that. And then the next slide breaks it down into subject areas. So these are all the AP exams that were taken last year and the breakdown of scores. As you can see, social studies, AP courses remain a favorite among all of our students.
But they're still so down. I'm glad that they're up, but
Human geography.
Athena took that.
So AP Human is really getting into looking at geography from a human perspective and how that geography impacts the way people flow and culture. It's a really great class.
it's a good course.
It's a freshman ticket, and so it's a really good window into taking an AP course as a freshman.
Do we find that a lot of colleges require the 4s and the 5s? Do you guys know that trend?
I think it varies by
Yeah,
institution.
It does.
It
Okay.
does. It varies.
And
I just didn't know if
it'll
it's
even
been
vary-
changing over time,
It'll
though.
even vary based on your major.
Right.
For
Yeah.
example, Nick was an engineering major. Even though he got a 5 on the AP calculus exam, he still had to take AP calculus
Mm-hmm.
because they wanted him to take their calculus for engineering. He got the credit for the class,
Mhm.
as an elective. But
Right.
they had him, he still had to take it. So it just depends on the institution. and
Well,
your
I
major.
do. I understand that.
Some
However,
3s,
I
some
just wonder if
5s.
we're seeing a trend where that's changing because, as with what we're doing, we see the different trends in dual credit, AP, all those things. So I just wondered what we were seeing.
I mean,
Well,
maybe.
it's difficult to track too.
Is it?
Because it varies so vastly. If I were going to go to the University of Georgia compared to the University of Kentucky, they all have different.
Right. Yeah.
But
so it is challenging.
I was going to say, I mean, Stephanie or Deborah, anybody, if I'm wrong, I think qualitatively, just taking it all in, I think we've seen the shift where everything's becoming a little bit more flexible. They're trying to give more opportunities for things to count where they don't. I know Brenna was like, Dad, I'm in this class with these kids, and you wouldn't believe what they're taking notes on. She's like, and it was one she got credit for after after her schedule had already been made. So she's like, I'm dropping this. I already get the credit for it anyway. So carry on, friend. Carry on.
Well, both my kids, when they went to college, it was amazing the conversations they would have with me when they came home. They would say things like, yeah, all our friends said they took APUSH in high school, but nobody passed the exam. And I was like, what do you mean? They were like, yeah, they took it, but nobody ever passed it. And I said, well, what was they said, I don't know. Well, we told them that more than half of everybody in our, they just said the culture just generally can make a difference. Some schools, it's just not even an expectation, whereas at Scott County, all of Scott County schools, the expectation, if you take the course, you're going to take the exam. There's supports for that. There's a culture that
And part of that
encourages that.
culture too, that I mean, again, that's why I have loved the split, because the competitive culture, as we see with the t-shirts on our desks as well. I mean, it's
good.
Yeah, it is. It's very positive. It's healthy.
So one thing that hasn't changed is that the research does support that students who take AP courses are more likely to be successful in college.
Regardless of how they do on the exam.
Yes.
Yeah. The data's there. This is where our college-bound kids need to be. I understand the economic sense of the dual credit.
So, from a post-secondary readiness look, we are looking at students who have scored a 3 or higher. And so in 2024, Scott County High School had 66% of the percentage of total AP students who were able to do that. In 2025, that increased to 69%.
This slide shows us the current enrollment of students taking AP courses at Scott County High School. And you will see that they have increased their enrollment by 140 students. And a lot of that is due to, and this is in your packet as well, they have started a Cardinal Scholars program
Love it.
to challenge students from that very beginning freshman year to take these courses, and it even outlines a recommended pathway if students are interested in doing that. And I think you can see that that's really paying off for Scott County High School.
Yeah, that's fun. The book, the whole thing. That's neat.
So looking at the percentage of total AP students with scores of 3 or greater at Great Crossings High School in 2024, that percentage was 64%, and in 2025, that increased to 71%.
And this is the current enrollment at Great Crossing High School and the courses that they are offering, and they have also increased by 94 students.
At Elkhorn Crossing in 2024, we had 28% of total AP students with scores of 3 or greater. In 2025, that increased to 46%.
Wow.
Ms. Reed, I know you've put some time in over there at Elkhorn Crossing. What would you attribute that growth to?
So the teachers and Principal Knoll were not happy with their AP exam results, so they started taking a very intentional focus during PLC time, a focus on the planning and preparing for the assessment and offering some more test prep options.
Doing that across the board.
What's that?
So we're doing that across the board then?
Every school offers test prep. They all offer different opportunities for students. Elkhorn Crossing just really put a heavy emphasis on it.
Mhm.
As I said, they weren't happy. Our schools are competitive, and we like that. So gives us good results. This is the current enrollment at Elkhorn Crossing School. They have increased their enrollment by 29.
So, just out of curiosity, the GOPO, U.S. Government Politics, is he teaching a singular section of that with 8 students, or is he grouping that? Is he dual teaching a class?
If I remember correctly, I think that's an early morning,
Okay,
maybe.
okay. All right, I was just curious how they were justifying that in the village, how they manipulated that schedule for just 8. Okay, very good.
And this is just a look at total enrollment for the entire district. It is duplicate enrollment, so some of these students may be taking 1, 2, or 3 AP courses, but we do have a significant increase in AP enrollment.
Yep, and regardless of if it's duplicate, I mean,
No, it doesn't
You know,
matter. I mean,
no.
it's just it's
that's
an
exactly
exposure
right.
to the child
That's
and-
exactly
great.
right. Yep.
Yeah.
So AP has 3 different awards that they recognize students for. The first is the AP Scholar, and so this is granted to a student who receives scores of 3 or higher on 3 or more AP exams. And then you move on to AP Scholar with Honors, and that is a student who received an average score of at least 3.25 on all of their AP exams and scores of 3 or higher on 4 or more of those exams. And then moving on to AP Scholar with Distinction, that's granted to students who had the average score of 3.5 on all their AP exams, and they had that 3 or higher on 5 or more of the exams.
And I mean, and this is that's super. It's great. It's a huge honor, and it's something that a few years ago we were like, how can we acknowledge this? And so 2 years ago, you might recall, we had them come to a board meeting, and we noticed, the attendance wasn't great for that. So then last year we went to them, and that was much better. I got a chance to speak a little bit, I don't know, more freely to them about things, but still wasn't. I mean, long story short, we are struggling with finding the best way
To
to.
celebrate them.
Yes, but just to be clear, we continue every year to try and work towards doing it. We got summer seniors and they're gone, and and the other thing too that we noticed was, you got kids that are busy.
Oh, yeah.
They're
Yeah,
involved
that time of
in
year, they're crazy,
everything.
yeah.
So that's something that just so you're aware, we're trying to keep the main thing here, and make sure we're really acknowledging our students that demonstrate this level of achievement.
Last year, we had 78 scholar awards. The year previous to that, we had 70. So we had 8 more scholar awards last year than the previous.
Okay, the final academic indicator of post-secondary readiness that we're going to share is dual credit. This information is the same. It's the number of scholarships that students can get to take a dual credit course. The only thing that has changed is that they raised the tuition ceiling rate by $2. So now it's $97 an hour, and that's the only change they've had. This is a look at our end of the year enrollment, and we look at it from the end of the year because right now at this time of the year, students are still enrolling in dual credit. Some are already dropping some dual credit, and we don't know what they're going to enroll in the spring semester, so we look at the end of the year enrollment. So I'll give you just a second to look at the numbers there. Okay. Our dual credit teachers that we have on campus, ECS has 9, Great Crossing has 6, and Scott County High School has 2 on campus dual credit teachers.
Why
I'm sorry.
How do we account for that discrepancy? I mean, because obviously, if you're at Scott County, your chances, your opportunity to take a dual credit class is diminished. Am I?
Yeah, because you'll have 2.
Is that the way you
On
translate that?
campus, just on campus. They're
right.
still taking off campus,
Sure.
so
Sure.
yeah.
I'm just curious, like, what is it? Just teachers there haven't opted to do it, or the?
Well, and we're also at the mercy of if the university will extend their transcript to teach certain courses. So ECS is a separate plan. Emily Sandberg in teaching humanities at BCTC, but in Scott County High School, they do have a younger staff, and so they don't necessarily have the transcripts for BCTC, allowing us to teach it on campus.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is that, do we feel like is that a concern at all from a staffing perspective? I mean,
Well-
is it, you know, I don't know, you wouldn't
Well,
know the school
again,
without
I-
a science teacher if we're missing that.
I mean, for me, again, I think it's one of those things that you can't solve overnight, and I think that what we've been doing year in, year out is best we can do to address that situation. But again, we have a variety of off-campus offerings that
Sure,
students are
sure.
also
I've
able
just
to tap
noticed
into.
that's pretty consistent. Scott County's been,
It seems to be
Yes.
that way. It
been
flexes,
really
I
low
think.
pretty consistently.
Because I know when my daughter was in school for the 4 years, it flexed.
Yeah.
With different, right?
Mm-hmm.
Over the years.
Well, sure, it's a function of who's
Yeah.
in the school,
Right.
It's qualified for it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just seems like a big discrepancy. That
Mhm.
there's 9 options at ECS and like 2 at Scott County.
And this breaks it down just a little bit more by school. This will show you what each teacher is teaching at those schools.
I wonder too a little bit because, you know, as I recall, we talked a little bit about the total offerings at each school. And even though they have far fewer on-campus offerings, as I recall, I wanted to say Scott County maybe had the most offerings of dual credit overall between the two schools. I thought they were maybe around 70 or so. Maybe not.
I don't have that data with
Okay,
me
okay.
right now.
I was thinking we talked like that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Do you mean students taking dual or what we offered
No,
at that
total
location?
total on and
At that
off campus
location.
course offerings for that
Okay, for
school.
both.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So it kind of, I guess my point being,
It
it
ultimately
leveled.
balances out. And that's what I was asking,
yeah,
what,
yeah.
how to translate those numbers
Yeah,
for those
yeah.
teachers, if that should translate into fewer offerings, or if there's.
Yeah. Because I want to say like Great Crossings was around 55 offerings, so they
I
had
think
less,
that's correct.
But they had
Yeah.
more.
Yeah, I mean, my
Yeah,
mind's going to the
yeah.
obvious place, just
Yeah, sure.
equality and opportunity for the students.
We also wanted to share with you, because you all have supported the teaching and learning pathway for future teachers in Scott County schools. Currently, we have 16 students in that pathway. Remember, that's our partnership with EKU. We have 10 who are in their first year and 6 in their second year, so those are 11th and 12th graders. Last year, we had 6 students complete the pathway, and the year before that, we had 6 students complete the pathway. So far, 12 potential future teachers.
Which I do think that reflects again that we don't always get it right, and that's why we have consolidated and put the teaching and learning pathway at ECS. So that was something that I believe you all approved through a Section 6 request last year, was a 1/6 for that early morning at ECS, and we're already seeing the dividends.
The difference with the 10 in the first year. Yeah.
So I also have provided you the teaching and learning pathway. So this is being led by Amanda Burrows, and she's also starting the Rising Educators Club to support this pathway.
I know Artie Trent's worked with her, or is planning to work with her as well, for some recruitment as well.
And just to finish up, here are our collegial partnerships.
And that concludes the student achievement report.
Thank you
I
for your
do
time.
want to say one thing, though. I have to tell you, and Stephanie had reported on this some time ago, or in the spring, or whenever the case may be, about the different pathways. And Billy and I have talked about that. We talk about scores. We talk about multiple different things. I think one thing I'm very proud of is the fact that we continue to change up our offerings, trying to meet kids where they are. That keeps kids engaged, that keeps kids moving through. And, I know we're all looking at the test scores and we are trying to gauge and everything we do, but this is what keeps kids interested and this is what keeps them engaged in school, and that's really what we need to do. So kudos to you guys and thank you, because all of this is important, from AP, dual credit, and then our pathways for everybody. So thank you.
Yeah, you all keep us posted on that transition from ACT to SAT. I'm interested
Yeah,
because it's
absolutely.
the only consistent measure we've had. I mean, the last 25 years, ACT's been it. Everything else has changed 16 ways from Sunday. And that's what we've had. And now they're going to pull that out from under us.
You're good.
Oh my gosh.
You're fine. Whatever your pleasure, Madam Chair.
I did too before I went. But since then, it's been a strong transition away from SATs to where the vast majority
Well, the
of
interesting
students
part is the
only take
pause.
ACT.
They move forward and then they paused, and now here we are again. That's
Well,
very
it's the sort of
interesting.
thing they should have, if they were going to do that, they should have announced in 3 years.
Right, you can't
Give
do
us a
it
chance.
overnight.
How in the world are
Because
we
you
going
got to prepare.
For 20 years, we've had
Yeah.
systems in place preparing for the same assessment, and now
So
it's
you-
completely different.
Some universities now aren't even looking at ACT. Or they're not
Yeah.
requiring
During
either
COVID,
one.
they did
Yeah.
that, but they're transitioning
They're
back.
coming back
You're
to-
starting to hear that they're not getting the data
I've
they
heard
need
that as well,
outside
yeah.
of the assessment. Yeah,
Mm.
they tried it. It's not going to work. They need it. You've got to have some consistent measure.
Sure.
All right, let's pop back into it. Thank
Oh,
you.
Yeah, we got.
Yeah, we still have,
talk about that stuff.
we're not even halfway through yet, so here we go.
Yes.
Number 15, approve recommended Scott County Schools traceable communication system.
So move.
Second.
Any discussion?
I will, really quickly, I will tell you that, again, as a reminder, through the course of this school year, we will be coming to you with additional platforms to add. And in fact, I would imagine we might have 2 next board meeting. So,
Okay.
anyway, sorry.
All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Number 16, second reading and approval of revision of policy 03.122, holidays and vacations.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion?
This is a good one.
All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Number 17, second reading and approval of revision of policy 03.22, holidays and vacations. 222.
So move.
Any discussions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Second reading and approval of revision to policy 09.4341, alternative education.
Move.
Second.
Any discussions? All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Number 19 is a review annual data security notification. Number 20, approve to create the following positions 20A through 20C.
So move.
Second.
Any discussions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Number 21, approve emergency certification for the following 21A through 21C.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussions? All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Number 22, approve pricing agreement with Google.
Move.
Any discussions? All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Number 23, approve adult meal prices for school year 2025-2026.
So move.
Second.
Any discussions? Billy, did you want to discuss that?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Eat away, Billy. Number 24, approve dual credit memorandum of agreement between Northern Kentucky University and Scott County Board of Education for the 2025-2026 school year.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussions? All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Number 25, ratify and approve memorandum of agreement with Cultivate Behavioral Health and Education and the Scott County Board of Education.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion?
On this item, I will just let you know that there's a strong chance we'll be bringing either an addendum or a revised agreement. There were some things that needed to get resolved before next board meeting. There's one issue that we needed a little bit more time for some discussion with Josh on it. I'll explain it next board meeting. But anyway, nothing major.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Number 26, approve memorandum of agreement between Midway University Teacher Education Program and Scott County Board of Education.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Number 27, approve committed funds as of June 30th, 2025.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Number 28, approve district funding assurances for fiscal year 2026.
Move.
Second.
Any discussions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Number 29, approve surplus items as submitted.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Mr. Parker?
No, ma'am.
All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Number 30, financial report.
As submitted for your approval, the financials for July 2025, our beginning balance was $71.2 million, and receipts of $6.8 million, expenses of $8.9 million, transfers of $2.2 million. Our ending cash balance was $71,771,825.98. Out of that, we still had investments of $7,211,450.75, giving our ending cash balance $64,157,970.
Thank you, Gina.
Thank you, Gina.
Number 31, approve current bills.
Move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Number 32, superintendent's report.
Man, it's been a busy month. Under Standard 1, we completed our opening day festivities along with our traditional now at this point. We've done it, I think, 3 years in a row now. Opening day video. Thank you, Ms. Duncan, for your participation at a little bit of a higher level than any of the rest of the board. But I also know that many of our other board members we got some pictures in of some summer fun from some board members as well. And I always use that. I put that as strategic because we use that as an opportunity to really just continue to hammer home just our core beliefs and our mission and vision for what we're wanting to make sure everybody is focused in on. We made sure, too, to layer in the 7 Habits and Leader in Me as well. Instructional leadership, PD Palooza was another event that we changed things up a little bit with how we recognized our teachers of the year, and we surprised them at PD Palooza. That was a hit for sure. And this year I got off easy, just had to rent a tux, so it wasn't too too crazy. Cultural leadership. So GMS we've got several schools who are involved in the house system that that I know you all have heard a little bit about. There are only middle school that participates, but I happen to be over there. And Ryan Taylor, assistant principal, said, "Hey, Mr. Parker, you ought to come back for the pep rally." And I'm like, and then he's like, "Oh crap, I probably shouldn't have said that. I don't know if because they had a pep rally literally the first day of school. It was that afternoon, but anyway, I spun the wheel and got to play bad uncle and acted a fool, and I'm in the House of Amistad, so I've got a T-shirt and all the things, and great first day there. They're just again, and we were there today for some things. The Paxton Patterson Toyota visit actually that's on down the list there. That was we had folks from Toyota there. It was phenomenal. And actually they had some people that were Georgetown Middle alum that were like, "Hey, I went through here. I really appreciate what I'm seeing in terms of what opportunities we're providing to our students." Battle of Elkhorn Creek. So when Tony was up here, I started to give DT a little bit of praise because DT was the first person that said, "Hey, we might want to look at this because we've got some service fees coming if we don't make some adjustments to this water line situation with Oxford." But I knew I was going to give him a little bit of praise with this one, the Battle of Elkhorn Creek Football Bowl Series. So this year's the first year where we've got, well, take that back. Last year was the first year, but this year we had talked about the splitting it up because in the past we took both games and had them both at the Great Crossing Field, Bird's Nest Stadium. That's just, it's a whole lot to ask of the staff that have to do that. You've got people that are getting out there at 4 o'clock and they're not getting home till 2 in the morning because of it's a lot. So we split it up, and what we might have lost in gate, we pretty much made up for in concessions. And I was at both, and a lot of people had said there was fear of, poor Great Crossing, because everybody's going to the Scott County game. And both of those games were very well attended. So I don't know if they want to get into competition of counting tickets, because I don't know who won that one. But I will say that the past 3 years, that event has earned for the teams that participate $44,000. This year we saw just the slightest of dip, and it was around 42. So, but for us, we were like, look, split it up, to not have the headache of putting that event on, and both schools like that they got to have that first game at home.
Yeah.
I mean, that's you all know. So anyway, I had to give kudos to DT, and he also did take a little bit of a step back and got to feel like a proud papa and turn it over a little bit more to the schools and let them have a little bit more leadership with that event.
Fly,
so
fly, little birds.
Yeah. New teacher orientation. I spoke at that event, and that was I do that annually. And I will say, and actually I think Mike Davis might have been the first person that pointed out to me, not as large of a crowd because of the fact that we are retaining more of our folks. So. Yeah. So, good things happen.
Yeah.
Staffing allocation and 10-day count I've got listed for managerial leadership, and again, we've finished up the 10-day count, and last year I believe the increase from last year to this year, Dr. Allen, am I correct? This is around 80 students increase. Yep. So we're up around 80 students from where we were last year, and that puts us at, before we start counting preschool, 9,713 students across the district. Again, at this time, there are situations where schools' numbers may not have come in like they wanted to, and I know I've reached out to you all and communicated a couple of transfers that took place. Beyond those transfers, there are a few schools who qualify for either additional teacher or an extra 0.5 of classified staff. So we're in conversations with those schools. If that ends up turning into positions that they post, we'll go on and post it because it's tied to the allocation formula, but we will ratify it at the immediate board meeting after. Yeah. There are circumstances where they may choose to just hang on to the cash that would come with that instead. And I think that I can think of one case where I believe that that's what they will do. But Anyway, it's, you know, I would like to just say, you know, our principals this year have done probably the best job I've ever seen with really watching their numbers. Because it matters. I mean, you know, at the end of the day, we want to keep the main thing, but we got to make sure that we're accountable for what provides us our funding. So I just wanted to share a little bit about that. I already mentioned the Paxton Patterson Career Labs at GMS and how awesome that was. The Toyota, I call them Toyota Texas. I don't know, Stephanie, is there a better? Is that okay? It's our Toyota corporate folks from Texas. They flew in last week, and we had a meeting about driving possibilities, and that was a very good conversation, and I think they were very receptive to the fact that we pointed to several times where we had made pivots, and they were open to that, and it's just a really good give and take, and because of that, it's made the Driving Possibilities initiative far more successful. Janet Fox has transitioned into that community liaison role, and they were just sharing all kinds of praise about some of the accountability pieces as far as some of the data that they needed for us and how great of a job she did with that. So I was very pleased to hear that. Already mentioned earlier in the meeting that I'd attended the KEDC Regional Superintendent's meeting. And last but not least, sat down with Senator Nunn, and the initial meeting was to talk about Senate Bill 181 and things that could be improved. And then I meant to tell him at that meeting and didn't. I called him the next day and I told him, hey, by the way, I want you to know I've heard nothing but praise from our staff about the cell phone bill. I said, our board had been kicking it around and we would have probably done something anyway, but for them to take that off of us to where we don't have to be the bad guys, so to speak, with the kids, probably doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
So I did want to make sure that I gave credit where credit was due there, and he was very appreciative. It's been super refreshing to have him as a partner in our community, yes, and that would conclude my report.
Anything on Senate Bill 181 changing?
I don't.
Updates?
I don't foresee anything in the near future on that. So, but I feel like at this point, regionally at least in Central Kentucky, it seems like everybody's kind of figured out where the fences are on that. And I do all the conversations I've had, not just with Senator Nunn, but I've been in other conversations and in other groups where legislators 100% get it. It will be more of what was intended next year for sure, if we have to wait as long as the session.
And then I have another question.
Yep.
The Paxton Patterson Career Lab, is that the leadership?
No, so that's actually, so what it is it's basically these modules, and I'm trying to think of a good way to describe it. Stephanie, feel free to jump in if you'd like, or Deborah, because I know Deborah's a humongous fan of them. But essentially, it's set up to where students in small groups can go in front of the lab and perform various tasks. For instance, one student that was at the veterinarian station that has a fake dog and some other things. He was the people that went to his station. You'd put on your gloves and then you smother your gloves in ketchup, and everybody's like, "What are we getting ready to do?" Well, it was to try and that blood or that ketchup represented contaminated blood. How you can get your gloves off? So it was real world application of things that connect to pathways. And what I really applaud our team for doing is they have all kinds of modules that go all kinds of different directions in terms of career pathways. What we did is we were super intentional about making sure the career pathway modules we have there match up with career pathways that we have in our high schools. So that is something, and that's something that I had to do an interview for Toyota on for something they're doing, and I said that one of the advantages that I think that comes from the Driving Possibilities initiative is it frees us up to be creative. Like we can take a risk with some money on something like that, and if it doesn't work, okay, but if it does, we find this boon, and I think that will be something that we will probably that'll be something we will likely have discussions in the future about trying to find a way to put in front of more students across our district.
they will have spent 10 days at each of our career pathway stations, so they have good exposure and so they can make a decision about what pathway they want to enter.
That's great.
You did touch a little bit on the Georgetown Leadership Academy. I know me and Stephanie got an email from the teacher, Miss Roper, that's leading that, and she's already working on scheduling their first kind of summit, I guess. And I think it's going to be something that over the years, it's going to take some time, I think, because she's asking me and Stephanie to be a part and speak, and we don't care to, but I don't think we're going to be a draw for kids. To, I mean,
You're pretty cool, Billy.
I don't know, I'm not that cool. But
put your jeans on and your guitar.
There you go, the guitar and the
That
hair
make
up.
it,
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
I have a question about the cell phone policy. So we have a cell phone policy. Is each school implementing it differently in their own way, or is it a district-wide?
Yeah, well, there's a little bit of difference in how they're collecting them. Like at Great Crossing, they have, I don't know, they've built, I don't know what you call them, little
cubbies for
there you go, yeah.
cell phone.
Little that they put their cell phones in. And I can't promise, I don't believe every school's doing that exact same thing with it. But it has been interesting. And then I was talking to, like, at Scott County High School, kind of a spin-off of this. Some of the things they're doing with their hall pass system, like I can't explain it to you, but it's super high level. Like it keeps track of if, for instance, me and one of my college friends, Mike Rossetti, our teachers would not have wanted us in the hallway together. So they could put a flag on there that says within that system that, I shouldn't be out in the hallway when he is. So if he's already out in the hallway and I ask to go in the hallway, it throws up a big no.
Oh, wow.
And it's pretty, I can't remember. Do you know the name of it?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. I didn't even know they were planning on doing it. And then the first time I was in there, I was like, wait, what are we doing? Yes, it is pretty sharp. So, and it keeps track collectively. So it's really neat. We all know the troubles and challenges we'll have with technology, but there's also some really good things that we're seeing come from it. But yeah, I would say, Deborah or Stephanie, anything more you want to add on the cell phone differences?
No, I think it varies just a little bit. But K through 8 is very similar. The high school's
Because I know there's some decisions about, okay, so can they have it at lunch? Can they have it in the hallway?
both are consistent that they can have it out at lunch and they can have it out during class.
Yeah.
So they do have a little bit of flexibility.
And then maybe when teachers want to use it instructionally, there's that.
Yes,
How
I
does
believe
that
there's
work?
a provision.
They can, but with Chromebooks, there's not anymore. There's not really a whole lot of reasons that you don't have. Also, Maria has made it where they can't access our internet.
Oh.
So,
Right.
even though
Well-
there's not a way around it, but
Yeah.
I'm sure.
The and again, across the state, the consistent theme has been how smooth the start of the school year has been, and I do really I've got to give our legislators credit, because I do believe that the cell phone piece is a big part of
Oh,
that.
yeah.
So
They can
Well,
focus.
we've talked about it for a couple of years about
Yeah.
putting it in place.
yeah, I mean we were
Yeah.
I mean
It was coming.
it was on our list to discuss if
Yeah.
we hadn't had to.
Yes, in Scott County Middle. Or Scott County Middle. I'm good. That's what I was wondering.
That makes sense.
yeah, because all three middle schools, I think you were getting ready to ask about middle, and they do not allow them at all. Yeah, at all.
That's so good.
What about the moment of silence?
Oh,
Is that
yeah, what
work
about
just
No,
How's that?
no?
Do they do it school-wide or just individually in their classrooms?
Well, I think it's high school,
Yeah.
Red Cross is school-wide as well.
Yeah.
Just sort of your Pledge of Allegiance announcement, kind of good
Yep.
morning, and
Yep.
here
Yeah,
it is.
some of them call it like a moment of reflection. I know that's what they call it at Great Crossing. And they actually have students singing it.
That's nice.
Okay.
My kids love it.
And in that silence, nothing.
We do it in my room. I do it in my room.
Eleanor, more comments. Start us off.
I was lucky enough to be one of the vendors at PD Palooza. Absolutely, I've never heard so many positive comments about that. Teachers gung-ho, and I did have the privilege of seeing Kelly Moses out in the hallway after she had been a teacher.
Elementary. Oh, that's great.
And she began a new piano. So I've heard. But anyway, it was wonderful. I just seeing some of those teachers, the beginning of the year. Actually, when we went through our first year, that one day that Billy gets on the computer, or iPad, talks, we went as a school-wide teachers classified, and we listened to some of the board members speak.
How exciting.
I remember that. Oh my God, it was awful.
You have no. Oh well,
He
of
would
course
stand there. And
I
go,
didn't, but there were several of the teachers around me who just send notes, just like kids. You know what? So anyway, it really was wonderful. That opening was so. I think the teachers have to appreciate it, and then to have the PD offered to them in the way that you did with the carpeting, the red carpet. It was just wonderful. So anyway, I did not get to see the other teachers who were middle school, high school teacher of the year, but anyway, it was just wonderful. Keep up that good work.
Susan?
Just glad we're safe and sound back to school. Thankful for that. That's all I got.
Wendy?
I'm a TikToker, and I've been watching Georgetown Middle School on TikTok, and I've enjoyed seeing what's going on. I mean, it looks like fun at Georgetown Middle School, so I'm just excited. And then I'm excited for the game tomorrow.
Yeah. I think the Weather Wizard's planning on seeing you tomorrow. He'll
Oh,
be
I
there
can't wait to
again.
see the Weather Wizard.
Yeah,
and then
that's
now
right.
that I'm an empty nester, I'm going to go to more games since my son's not playing football anymore. So, yeah.
Becky?
Yeah, I just want to echo what Eleanor said because I went to the middle school, high school PD Palooza, and the enthusiasm in that room was just palpable. I was so glad I got to be a part of that. It was equally as wonderful. The other thing is I'm involved in Liz Yandel's one-to-one coaching again this year, and I went to the training for it. And at the training, one of the trainers who is responsible for training regionally and so does it at many schools sort of offhandedly said, my daughter lives in an adjacent county to Scott County, and I have told her in observing the school systems and all of my training that she needs to move over the border because Scott County schools are so outstanding.
Amazing.
So I felt proud to hear that from somebody neutral, So.
All right. I added in my comments, asked questions while we were doing our thing. So those are my board comments for today. And do I have a motion to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion
No discussion.
No discussion.
No, I'm not even going to mention it. Sorry, that's not happening. Thank you. No, we're good. We're good.